There's going to be a point where you sit down with a buyer and they look at you and they say, I don't trust you. And it can happen in an objection. It can happen word to word, just like we're having right now. So what does it mean and why does it matter? This is an important question. I'm Sylvan Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. Before we get going in today's video, go ahead and smash that subscribe button so you get some updates every time I send out new videos, which is frequently. So here's the thing. At some point, you are going to sit down with a buyer. They're going to have a conversation with you. They may give you an objection, which sounds something like, I want to think about it. I'm getting other bids. I got to talk to other people. Or they can flat out say, I don't trust you. So what could have caused it? Well, let's start with what you did in your presentation. One, were you on time? Like, I don't know how many times I ride with salespeople and I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, 10 o'clock, what's going on? Don't worry about it. We'll be late. And in this day and age, competition-wise, you can't afford to be late. The fast eat the slow is the saying, and that is true in just about every form of business, and it's true about sales too. Second, did you give a full presentation? There's a lot of times where I work with salespeople and they mail it in. They do the bare minimum to say, hey, I went to my sales call. I did the bare minimum, and I didn't have to do a lot of work, and I'll catch them up on it later. Maybe I'll give them a discount or I'll give them a price match. Did you really show what your company has to offer? And there is a problem with salespeople when they're struggling. They just get to the point. Let's just get to the money. Let's just get in. Let's get it done. Let's make it fast. Let's make it easy. And real deal, it could be you. It could be that you're not giving it your all. And so here's what happens is when I'm watching a sales presentation and I'm watching the ping pong match, it's going back and forth. One of the things that happens is buyers start checking out when it doesn't feel like a real interaction. And what I mean by that is we've all had to talk to somebody at a party and we're like, oh my goodness, just please stop talking. Just stop talking, please. Mommy, make the bad man stop. Daddy, make the bad man stop. I mean, there's a point where you're just like, this just doesn't work right. And so there's a flow to it. There's a way that the conversation goes. And sometimes salespeople aren't paying attention. They're not getting to the point. They're not like, I get it. I'm here for a presentation. We got things to talk about. We did the rapport thing. We talked about the pictures on the walls, the trophies on the desk. We've got all that out of the way. There is a flow. There is a way that presentations go. There are conversations that happen. And if you're socially awkward, one of the reasons that somebody may not trust you is because you don't have the type of conversation that normal people have. And one of the things that you'll find in sales training is sales is very strategic. And the language that me and you, use as salespeople isn't normal language that people use in everyday life. And so the closers, the best closers in sales, what they do is they make sales perfectly conversational. And somebody who's brand new and just learning the process is going to be really choppy for the most part. And they're not going to have standard conversations like you and I are just talking right now. It's going to sound awkward. It's going to sound weird. It's going to sound unusual. And so buyers sitting there looking at it like, this seems weird. This seems unusual. Like, I know what a normal conversation is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to feel like we're talking back and forth, but now you're talking in a different language, and I just don't get it. Something's wrong. Butterflies in the stomach. I got to think about it. Sometimes the biggest problem in the world of sales, for you and for me, is when we screw up and we don't own the sales presentation. So if you want this mega sales tip, this stupendous sales strategy, this amazing sales tactic, whatever way you want to explain it, whatever words that you want to use, is do the best that you can with the presentation that you have and put in the work, energy, and effort. And sometimes you're going to get rejected. Sometimes the person's going to come back and say, I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want anything to do with it. But that's better than I want to think about it and a fake objection just to get you out the door so they don't have to talk to you. Sometimes the trust problem in the world of sales is all because you didn't want to do the work that you needed to do and you just wanted to mail it in. There you go. Tough conversation to have today, right? Tough conversation for some people. Yeah, one thing to do from here, just one thing. Find the subscribe button, click on it every time I send out a video. You'll get an update. So Scott Bell Consultant sent out another fantastic video, probably from a cool location. Today I'm coming to you from the studio in Sacramento, California. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.